Let's be honest. Have you ever left the salon, glanced in the mirror, and thought, why do I look older instead of younger? You're not alone. The truth is, a haircut can be more powerful than any cream in a jar. The wrong style can add 10 years, while the right one can take 10 off in an instant. And for women over 60, that difference isn't just about appearance, it's about confidence, energy, and how the world sees you. Hair isn't just hair. It's the frame of your face, your identity, and your personal style statement. If you've been stuck in a rut or wondering which cut actually flatters you now, you're in the right place. In this series, we'll uncover the 3 haircuts that instantly make you look fresher and more vibrant, the 3 you should avoid, and most importantly, how to choose the perfect style that makes you feel radiant at any age. Have you ever had that moment when you walk out of the salon, run your fingers through your hair, and instead of feeling fabulous, you're secretly thinking, wait, why do I look older? It can be disappointing, even frustrating. After all, a haircut should feel like a renewal, a fresh chapter, not a reminder of time passing. But here's the honest truth. The wrong haircut can add years, while the right one can take them away. And after 60, that's not just about vanity, it's about how you show up in the world, how you feel when you catch your reflection, and the kind of energy you project. Think about it. Hair isn't just something we style in the morning. It's a reflection of who we are. It frames our face, softens our features, and subtly tells people about our personality. When a cut works with you, it lifts your whole look, your cheekbones pop, your eyes sparkle, and your smile feels bigger. When it works against you, it can unintentionally drag everything down. And we don't need anyone dragging us down, do we? This is why the conversation about hair after 60 is so important. By this age, your hair is different, it behaves differently, feels different, and even grows differently. What flattered you at 40 or 50 might no longer bring out the best in you now. That doesn't mean your beauty has faded. It means your style simply needs to evolve with you. Here's the best part. You don't need expensive treatments, painful surgery, or a whole closet of new clothes to transform your look. Sometimes, the simplest change, a haircut, can do more than anything else. Just like the right frame makes a painting stand out, the right haircut can completely refresh the masterpiece that is you. In this series, I'll be walking you through everything you need to know. First, we'll look at why haircuts matter so much after 60. Then we'll dive into the 3 most flattering cuts that can instantly make you look lighter, fresher, and more vibrant. I'll also show you the 3 styles that might be secretly working against you, adding years instead of subtracting them. Finally, we'll explore how to choose a cut that suits your unique face shape, your hair texture, and your lifestyle, because there is no one-size-fits-all answer. So, whether you've been clinging to the same haircut for decades or you're already considering a big change, this journey will give you the insight and courage to embrace a style that makes you feel not just younger, but more you. And before we dive in, here's a gentle reminder. This isn't about trying to look 25 again. It's about celebrating where you are today, vibrant, confident, and full of life. A great haircut doesn't erase your age. It honors it, while highlighting your best self. So let's begin. Let's talk about why haircuts matter so much after 60, and why this could be the turning point you've been waiting for. Let's pause for a moment and really ask ourselves, why do haircuts take on such significance after 60? At first glance, it might feel like hair is just hair. But when we look deeper, it's far more than strands on our head. It's a combination of biology, psychology, and self-expression. Biologically, our hair changes as we age. Just like the rest of our body. You might have noticed that it feels thinner, a little drier, or perhaps more fragile than it used to. This isn't your imagination. By this stage of life, the natural production of keratin and collagen slows down. Our scalp produces less oil. And as a result, even women who once had thick, glossy hair notice shifts in texture and volume. It's a natural part of life's journey. But it also means the styles that once suited us so well may no longer feel as flattering. But it's not just about biology. The psychology of hair is powerful. Research shows that the way our hair frames our face significantly influences how others perceive us, not just our age, but our energy, vitality, and even our openness. Think about it. A cut that adds softness and lift around the cheekbones doesn't just flatter the face. It subconsciously communicates vibrancy and positivity. Meanwhile, a heavy, outdated style can unintentionally signal tiredness or a lack of energy. In other words, people respond to the message your haircut sends before you even say a word. And here's something important to remember. This is not about hiding your age. It's about showing the world that your age is filled with elegance, wisdom, and strength. A haircut that works with your features can highlight your natural beauty, project confidence, and let people see the lively, stylish woman you are today. Think of your haircut as the frame of a portrait. You can change your outfit, update your jewelry, and experiment with makeup. But the haircut frames the entire picture, and when the frame feels fresh, modern, and flattering, the portrait suddenly shines in a whole new way. Another key point is how hair affects how we feel internally. When your hair feels right, it's not just that others perceive you as younger, you perceive yourself that way. 2. You catch your reflection and think, yes, that's me. I feel alive again. That shift in self-perception can ripple into your mood, your posture, and even the way you walk into a room. This is why choosing the right haircut at this stage in life is not vanity, it's self-care, self-expression, and a celebration of who you are. It's about refusing to fade into the background, and instead stepping forward with confidence. So, as we move deeper into this journey, keep this in mind. The right haircut isn't just a change in style. It's a transformation in the way you present yourself to the world. And perhaps even in the way you feel about yourself. Now that we've laid this foundation, let's explore what that transformation can look like. In the next part, we'll talk about how confidence and hair are deeply linked, and why the right cut can be the simplest way to spark a whole new chapter in your life. Here's a little truth I've learned from countless women over the years. When your hair feels right, you feel right. It may sound simple, but the connection between hair and confidence is undeniable. Think back to a time you got a haircut that truly suited you. Remember how you walked a little taller, smiled a little more, and maybe even said yes to things you might normally turn down. That's not just coincidence. That's the psychology of confidence at work. After 60, confidence becomes even more important. Not because we have less of it, but because we've earned the right to feel radiant without apology. And the right haircut can amplify that sense of self. A style that frames your features softly, adds movement, and works with your natural texture doesn't just improve how you look, it changes how you carry yourself. Suddenly, you're not hiding behind your hair or tugging at it nervously. Instead, you're stepping into the world with assurance. I remember a woman named Diane, a retired teacher in her late 60s, who had worn the same long, heavy hairstyle since her 40s. She told me she felt invisible in group settings, as though her hair was weighing her down physically and emotionally. With some encouragement, she tried a layered bob with soft bangs. When she saw herself in the mirror afterward, she actually teared up. Not because she looked younger, though she certainly did, but because she finally saw herself again, Her confidence came rushing back, and she told me later that she felt excited to go out, meet friends, and even start dating again. That's the quiet power of a good haircut. And it's not just Diane. We've all seen how celebrities embrace reinvention through hair. Think of Jane Fonda with her chic, layered cuts, or Jamie Lee Curtis with her iconic Pixie. They don't look younger because they're clinging to the past. They look younger because their hair reflects their current selves, modern, stylish, and unapologetically confident. The important thing to remember is that confidence doesn't come from following trends. It comes from choosing a cut that highlights what makes you uniquely beautiful. Maybe that's your sparkling eyes, your high cheekbones, or your radiant smile. A skilled stylist knows how to frame those features so that the first thing people notice isn't your hair at all, it's you. And here's where the magic happens. When you look in the mirror and feel good about what you see, your energy shifts. That energy influences how people respond to you. They see you as approachable, vibrant, and engaged. It creates a positive feedback loop that keeps your confidence strong. So, if you've been feeling like your style doesn't reflect who you are anymore, to remember this: updating your haircut isn't about erasing time. It's about aligning your reflection with the confident, dynamic woman you already are. In the next part, we'll dive into one of the most timeless and universally flattering styles for women over 60, the soft layered bob. It's fresh, elegant, and endlessly adaptable. And I'll show you why it has the power to take years off your look while giving your confidence a beautiful boost. Let's begin with one of the most timeless and flattering cuts for women over 60, the soft layered bob. This style has been a go-to for decades, and there's a reason it has stood the test of time. It's versatile, it's modern, and it works with a wide variety of face shapes and hair textures. But more than that, it has a magical ability to freshen your look, soften your features, and take years off in the most graceful way. So, what makes the layered bob so special? First, let's talk about movement. Many women over 60 struggle with hair that feels heavier or flatter than it used to. A blunt cut can emphasize that heaviness, but the layered bob does the opposite. By adding layers, the hair gains natural flow and dimension. Instead of sitting stiffly against the face, the layers create lift and softness, drawing the eye upward. This subtle upward movement helps to visually soften fine lines, flatter the jawline, and highlight your cheekbones. In short, it creates instant vibrancy. Length also plays a key role. The most flattering layered bobs usually fall between the chin and just above the shoulders. A bob that hits below the chin draws attention to the cheekbones, while one that brushes the collarbone adds elegance without weighing down the look. Too short, and you risk losing the softness. Too long, and it can start to drag the face downward. But when the length is just right, the effect is stunning. It frames the face like a masterpiece in the perfect frame. Now let's talk about bangs, because they can make all the difference. A soft, side-swept bang paired with a layered bob adds instant youthfulness. Not only do bangs gently cover forehead lines, but they also open up the eyes and balance the face. The key is to keep them light and wispy. Heavy, blunt bangs can feel dated, while soft fringes add freshness and approachability. The real beauty of the layered bob, though, is how adaptable it is to different hair textures. If your hair is fine, layers add volume and body. If your hair is thick, they remove bulk and create movement. And if you have natural waves or curls, a layered bob enhances them beautifully, turning what might feel like unmanageable texture into effortless style. From a psychological perspective, this cut communicates energy and modernity. Hair with movement subconsciously signals vitality and openness, whereas stiff, one-length cuts can unintentionally suggest rigidity or being out of touch. Imagine walking into a room with a layered bob that shines with light and dimension. The message it sends is simple. I'm vibrant, I'm confident, and I'm still evolving. And let's not forget styling. One of the greatest strengths of the layered bob is how easy it is to maintain while still looking polished. You can blow dry it for smooth volume, add soft curls for romance, or even let it air dry for a chic, slightly tousled look. A touch of highlights or lowlights woven through the layers creates depth and gives thinning hair the appearance of fullness. But perhaps the most important benefit of this cut is how it makes you feel. When you see your face framed in softness and movement, it's almost impossible not to smile. That smile is confidence shining back at you. And when you feel confident, people notice. So if you've been looking for a cut that feels safe yet transformative, the soft layered bob might be your answer. It's modern without being trendy, youthful without trying too hard, and classic enough to stay flattering year after year. In the next part, we'll go beyond the basics of the bob and look at real-life examples of women over 60 who wear it beautifully, including a few style icons you probably know. I'll also share fresh tips on how to add modern touches, like dimensional color, to make your bob truly your own. Now that we've uncovered the magic behind the soft layered bob, let's bring it to life with some real examples. Because seeing this haircut on women who wear it with grace and confidence helps us understand why it works so well. Think of Helen Mirren. She has worn variations of the bob for years. Sometimes sleek and elegant, other times playful with soft waves. What makes her look so striking isn't just her natural beauty, it's that her haircut always feels current. The movement in her bob lifts her features, frames her eyes, and gives her an air of vitality. She doesn't look like she's chasing youth. She looks like a woman fully owning her age with style. Then there's Kris Jenner, who has become synonymous with her sharp yet soft bob. While she often goes a bit more polished and structured, she still incorporates layers and movement that keep her look vibrant rather than stiff. It's proof that this style can lean classic or modern, depending on how you finish it. And let's not forget about everyday women, not just celebrities. I once met a woman named Patricia in her 70s who had worn her hair long and heavy most of her life. When she switched to a chin-length layered bob with a soft side fringe, she told me that strangers started complimenting her again. It wasn't because she suddenly looked decades younger, it was because her hair finally reflected the lively personality she always had. People noticed her sparkle, not her hairstyle. And that was the transformation she'd been missing. So, how do you make this timeless cut your own? That's where color and texture come in. Adding subtle highlights or lowlights is a brilliant way to elevate the bob. When woven into the layers, those shades create depth and dimension, making even fine hair appear thicker. And for women who are embracing their natural silver or white hair, a layered bob can be the perfect way to showcase it. Silver strands catch the light beautifully, and when paired with soft layers, the effect is chic and radiant rather than dull. Styling also allows for endless variety. Want a polished, professional look? Smooth the layers with a round brush and a touch of serum. Prefer something softer and playful? Add gentle curls, or waves, with a curling wand. Or simply scrunch your hair as it air dries to bring out natural texture. And for days when you want effortless ease, a tousled bob with a little texture spray communicates energy and approachability. Here's a little secret. The layered bob is also forgiving when it comes to maintenance. While it looks refined, it doesn't demand hours of styling each day. Many women find that it holds its shape well even as it grows out, so you don't feel like you're chained to the salon chair every few weeks. This practicality makes it a true lifestyle-friendly option for women who want elegance without the fuss. The key is personalization. Don't be afraid to show your stylist photos of bobs you admire. Whether from celebrities or friends, talk about what you like, Do you prefer sleek and smooth, or textured and tousled? Do you want a side fringe, or do you feel more confident with face framing layers? A skilled stylist will tailor the cut so it complements your face shape, highlights your best features, and feels like you. At the heart of it all, the layered bob isn't just a haircut. It's a celebration of your individuality, a fresh frame for your natural beauty, and a reminder that style has no age limit. In the next part, we'll switch gears to a cut that feels bold and powerful, the pixie with volume. Some women shy away from it, fearing it's too short. But when done right, this haircut can be one of the most liberating and youthful styles you'll ever wear. Let's explore why. When you hear the word pixie, what comes to mind? For many women, it sparks two feelings at once: curiosity and hesitation. Curiosity, because short hair always feels bold and modern. Hesitation, because it feels like a big leap, especially if you've worn your hair long for decades. But here's the truth. The pixie, with volume, can be one of the most flattering, youthful, and empowering choices a woman over 60 can make. Why does it work so well? First, let's talk structure. As we age, most of us experience thinning hair. A good pixie cut combats that by adding strategic layers, especially at the crown. Instead of lying flat against the scalp, the hair is lifted and shaped, creating the illusion of fullness. That added volume doesn't just help your hair look thicker, it also visually lifts the face, almost like a mini facelift without any surgery. Then there's the way the pixie highlights your best features. A well-cut pixie draws the eye to your cheekbones, your eyes, even your smile. It removes the distraction of heavy hair and places the focus back where it belongs, on you. And if you've ever wanted to show off a beautiful pair of earrings or a graceful neckline, this cut provides the perfect canvas. But let's be clear, not all pixies are created equal. The difference between a flattering pixie and a harsh one lies in softness and texture. Super short, blunt cuts can emphasize lines in the face, but a pixie with feathered edges and layered movement does the opposite. A soft side-swept fringe can gently cover forehead lines and bring balance, while tapered sides elongate the neck for a graceful silhouette. The result? Feminine, fresh, and elegant. Styling a pixie is also easier than many imagine. With just a touch of mousse or texturizing cream, you can create lift at the crown that lasts all day. For a casual, daytime look, a little tousling with your fingers gives you a playful, effortless vibe. And when you want evening glamour, smoothing it back with a bit of shine serum instantly makes it chic and polished. In fact, versatility is one of the pixie's biggest strengths. It can look soft and romantic one day, and bold and sophisticated the next. Color plays an important role. 2. Adding highlights or lowlights enhances the layers, giving the illusion of thickness and depth. And if you've embraced your natural silver, the pixie can showcase it in the most stylish way. Think of icons like Judi Dench or Jamie Lee Curtis, both proof that a pixie doesn't age you. In fact, it can make you unforgettable. From a psychological perspective, the pixie, with volume, sends a very specific message. I'm confident, I'm modern, and I'm not afraid of change. Short hair has long been associated with energy and approachability, qualities that instantly read as youthful. Many women describe the feeling of cutting their hair into a pixie as liberating, like shedding weight they didn't know they were carrying. And here's the part that surprises many women. Far from limiting your styling options, a pixie actually opens new ones. Accessories like earrings, scarves, or even bold lipstick take center stage when your hair is short, allowing your personality to shine through in new ways. So, if you've been thinking about trying something daring, or if you're simply tired of fussing with longer hair. The Pixie with volume could be your next great adventure. It's not just a haircut, it's a statement that you're embracing this stage of life with confidence and flair. In the next part, we'll dive deeper into the emotional side of this transformation, the freedom and empowerment many women feel when they make the leap to a pixie. We'll also look at simple tips for making the cut uniquely yours. For many women, deciding to go for a pixie cut is less about hair and more about courage. It's not just a trim, it's a reinvention. I've seen countless women sit nervously in the salon chair, gripping the armrests as their long locks are snipped away. But then, the moment the stylist turns that chair toward the mirror, it's like watching a light switch flick on. Suddenly, they see themselves in a whole new way. Bold, confident, radiant. That's the transformation a pixie can deliver. Take Marlene, for example, a vibrant woman in her early 60s who had worn her hair long since college. She admitted she kept it that way because she felt long hair was more feminine. But over time, it had begun to weigh her down, both literally and emotionally. One day she took the leap, asking her stylist for a pixie with soft layers and volume at the crown. When she saw herself afterward, her eyes widened. She looked chic, elegant, and more importantly, free. She told me she felt like she had shed not just hair, but years of hesitation. That's the emotional liberation many women describe. A pixie can feel like a reset button, a chance to say, I'm still here, and I'm not fading into the background. It's not just about looking younger, it's about projecting energy and embracing change with grace. Of course, personalization makes all the difference. A pixie should never feel severe. Softness is the secret ingredient. Feathered ends, wispy layers, and even a playful side fringe can ensure the cut feels approachable rather than harsh. If your face is more angular, ask your stylist to soften the edges with texture. If your face is rounder, adding height at the crown can elongate and balance your look beautifully. Styling a pixie is refreshingly easy. A dab of mousse or lightweight texturizing cream is usually all it takes to bring volume and lift. On busy mornings, simply tousle your hair with your fingers, and you're ready to go. For evenings out, smoothing the layers back with a shine serum instantly adds glamour. And if you love experimenting, a pixie is a wonderful playground. Slick it back for sophistication. Fluff it up for playfulness. Or add a headband or clip for a touch of fun. Color also enhances the personality of a pixie. Silver tones look stunning in this cut, catching the light in a way that feels modern and stylish. Or, for added dimension, subtle highlights and lowlights can make fine hair appear thicker and more dynamic. Think Jamie Lee Curtis's radiant silver pixie or Judi Dench's soft, layered crop, both timeless, chic, and unforgettable. From a psychological perspective, a pixie says something powerful. It tells the world you're confident, open, and still evolving. In fact, studies suggest that shorter, well-kept hairstyles are often perceived as more energetic and approachable. Isn't that exactly the kind of impression most of us want to make at this stage in life? If you've been wearing your hair long for years and are ready for a transformation, the pixie with volume can be your statement cut. It's more than just low-maintenance elegance, it's a declaration of independence. And once you take that leap, you may wonder why you didn't do it sooner. Next, we'll turn our attention to women who prefer to keep a bit more length. Because yes, you can still enjoy longer hair after 60, but the secret is in how it's cut. In the next part, we'll explore the long layered shag, a style that brings movement, bounce, and an effortless youthful energy. Now, let's talk about a style that lets you keep some length while still feeling light, fresh, and full of movement. The long layered shag. For women who can't imagine parting with their longer locks, This cut is a gift. It keeps the femininity of length, but avoids the heaviness and flatness that can sometimes come with it. Instead, it delivers bounce, personality, and that elusive quality we all want: effortless style. What makes the shag so unique is the layering technique. Unlike a blunt cut, which leaves hair hanging heavily, the shag removes bulk where it's not needed and adds lift where it is. The result is hair that feels lively, even if your strands have thinned with age. Each layer creates the illusion of thickness and volume, pulling the face upward instead of dragging it down. That upward lift makes the entire look fresher, more vibrant, and yes, younger. The sweet spot for this haircut is shoulder length or just below. Too long, and it risks losing its bounce. Too short, and you miss that playful, flowing quality that makes the shag special. Around the collarbone or a few inches below is often the most flattering zone. It frames the face beautifully while leaving enough length for versatility. Bangs also pair wonderfully with the shag. Curtain bangs, or wispy, side-swept fringes melt seamlessly into the layers, softening forehead lines and drawing attention to the eyes. Unlike heavy blunt bangs, which can feel dated, these lighter options enhance the modern, airy feel of the cut. And here's the beauty of the shag. It works with texture instead of fighting it. If your hair is naturally straight, the layers add body and shape. If you have waves or curls, the shag defines them, giving structure without frizz. It's often called a wash-and-go style because even on days when you don't want to fuss, it looks polished with minimal effort. Styling options are plentiful. 2. Straightening gives you a sleek, sophisticated vibe, while soft waves add a relaxed, playful touch. With the right products, a lightweight mousse, a bit of curl cream, or even just a spritz of sea salt spray, you can adapt the shag to fit your mood and the occasion. And here's a tip. Subtle highlights, woven through the layers, make the cut even more dimensional. The way light catches on the varying lengths creates depth and shine, making hair look fuller and healthier. From a psychological perspective, the shag communicates ease and approachability. Hair that moves and flows suggests energy and openness, while one-length styles can give off heaviness or tiredness. When someone sees you with soft, feathered layers, they don't think about your age, they notice your sparkle. That's the power of hair that reflects your personality rather than hiding it. Another benefit is its forgiving nature. Unlike precise cuts that require frequent trims, the shag still looks good as it grows out. A bit of extra length actually adds to its character, making it a great option for women who prefer fewer salon visits. The long layered shag is ideal if you want to keep some length without sacrificing vitality. It's youthful without being childish, stylish without being high maintenance, and most importantly, it moves with you. Instead of weighing you down, it dances with your every step. In the next part, we'll explore why this haircut is such a perfect lifestyle fit. From embracing natural silver to keeping salon visits minimal, I'll share how the shag can adapt to your life while still helping you look and feel radiant. The beauty of the long layered shag isn't just in how it looks, it's also in how it lives with you. Because let's be honest, most of us don't want to spend hours in front of the mirror each morning. At this stage in life, a hairstyle should fit into your routine, not control it. And that's where the shag shines. It's practical, forgiving, and wonderfully adaptable. One of the most appealing things about the shag is that it's low maintenance without looking careless. Unlike precision cuts that lose their shape the moment your hair grows a fraction of an inch, the shag actually embraces growth. In fact, a little extra length can add character and dimension. This means you can stretch out your salon visits and still look stylish, which is a blessing if you'd rather spend your time traveling, seeing friends, or pursuing hobbies instead of sitting in a stylist's chair every 4 weeks. The shag also makes peace with natural texture. Many women at this stage notice their hair isn't as predictable as it once was. It might wave in some places, curl in others, or simply resist lying flat. Instead of fighting that, the shag celebrates it. The layers give natural texture, shape, and definition, turning what could feel unruly into a chic, carefree style. On days when you don't feel like blow drying, you can simply let your hair air dry. Maybe add a touch of curl cream or sea salt spray, and still look put together. Now, let's talk color, because it can elevate the shag even further. If you've embraced your natural silver, this cut is a wonderful way to showcase it. Silver hair looks luminous when paired with feathered layers that catch the light, and if you prefer a bit more dimension, highlights and lowlights can add depth, making your hair appear thicker and fuller. Balayage technique, where color is painted on for a natural sun-kissed effect, work especially well with the movement of the shag. From a lifestyle perspective, the shag also adapts beautifully to different occasions. For a casual day, you can let it fall naturally and enjoy its relaxed, flowing movement. For a more polished look, a quick pass with a blow dryer or curling iron gives you soft, intentional waves. And when you want something sleek and elegant, smoothing it down with a serum creates a sophisticated silhouette without losing that modern edge. But perhaps the most important reason the shag fits so well into a mature woman's life is its message. This cut says, "I'm active, approachable, and confident." It doesn't look stiff or dated, it looks alive. And that's exactly what most women want to project after 60, not that they're holding on to the past, but that they're embracing the present with vitality. I remember meeting a woman named Ellen, who switched to a shoulder-length shag after years of wearing her hair in a long, one-length style. She told me the difference was night and day. Not only did her friends comment on how youthful she looked, but she felt more like herself again. She described it as shedding old weight, like her haircut finally matched the way she felt inside, free-spirited and full of energy. So, if you've been looking for a style that's beautiful, easy, and forgiving, the long layered shag might be your perfect match. It's a cut that grows with you literally and figuratively, helping you look polished without effort and vibrant without trying too hard. In the next part, we'll shift gears and talk about the styles that may not serve you as well anymore. These are the haircuts that, though once popular, can unintentionally add years instead of subtracting them. And the first one on that list is the overly short, harsh crop. Let's explore why it often works against women over 60 and how to adapt it into something softer and more flattering. Now that we've celebrated some of the most flattering haircuts for women over 60, it's time to talk about the other side of the coin, the styles that may be unintentionally holding you back. And the first on that list is the overly short, harsh crop. Don't get me wrong, short hair can be absolutely stunning. We just explored how a pixie with volume can transform your whole look, highlighting your best features and projecting confidence. But the trouble starts when the hair is cut too blunt, too severe, and too close to the scalp. Instead of flattering your face, a harsh crop can expose every line and contour, emphasizing the very things you might want to soften. Think about what hair does for us. It frames the face, adds balance, and creates movement. When a cut removes that softness, it can unintentionally draw attention to fine lines around the eyes, deeper folds near the mouth, or sagging around the jawline. The result isn't youthful, it's harsh. And the message it sends isn't vibrancy, but rigidity. Another challenge with the harsh crop is that it can sometimes read as masculine or overly severe if it isn't balanced with texture. Without softness or movement, it can give the impression of strictness rather than warmth. Many women choose this style because it feels practical, easy to wash. No styling required, but practicality doesn't have to come at the expense of style. Here's the good news. You don't have to give up short hair to avoid this pitfall. The alternative is a softer pixie with layers and a bit of volume, by keeping some length on top and feathering the edges instead of cutting them blunt. You introduce texture that flatters rather than hardens. A side-swept fringe can add balance and cover forehead lines, while tapered sides keep the silhouette elegant and feminine. This way, you retain all the ease of a short haircut while gaining movement and approachability. From a psychological perspective, this is an important distinction. A harsh crop can signal that you've given up on style, even if your intention was simply convenience. But a soft pixie communicates energy, personality, and self-assurance qualities that people naturally associate with youthfulness. I once spoke with a woman named Judith who had been wearing a close-cropped style for years. She said it was easy, and she didn't want to fuss. But when she softened the cut, adding just a bit of volume at the crown and a soft fringe, her friends immediately noticed. "You look lighter," one of them said. Judith confessed that she not only looked younger, but also felt more like herself. That little bit of softness made all the difference. So, if you've been tempted by the super short, sharp crop, pause before you make the cut. Ask yourself, is it highlighting your best features? Or is it unintentionally magnifying the areas you'd prefer to soften? With just a touch more length and texture, you can have the wash and go convenience you crave, while also projecting the vibrant, confident energy you deserve. In the next part, we'll look at another style that may be adding years without you realizing it. Long, heavy, one-length hair. While length itself isn't the issue, the way it's worn can make all the difference. Let's explore why this cut often works against women over 60, and how a few simple changes can completely transform it. Let's move to another style that can be surprisingly aging. Long, heavy, one-length hair. Now, before you panic, let me be clear, there's nothing wrong with keeping your hair long after 60. Length can be beautiful, feminine, and deeply personal. Many women feel their hair is part of their identity, and letting go of it can feel almost impossible. The problem isn't the length itself, it's when the hair is all one length, with no layers, no movement, and no shape. Why is this an issue? First, gravity isn't our best friend as we age. A heavy, blunt cut pulls everything downward, exaggerating the natural softening of features around the jawline and cheeks. Instead of lifting the face, it drags it down, which is the exact opposite of what most women want. Second, one-length hair often highlights thinning ends. By this stage of life, our hair naturally becomes finer and more fragile, without layers to disguise it. Those delicate ends can look stringy or lifeless. The impression isn't youthful vibrancy, it's tiredness. Third, and this may sting a little, but it's true. Long, blunt hair can look dated. It gives the impression of being stuck in the past, especially if it's the same style you've had since your 40 seconds. While classic looks never truly go out of style, a haircut that hasn't evolved in decades can unintentionally suggest that you haven't evolved either. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You're constantly growing, learning, and reinventing yourself. Your hair should reflect that. But here's the encouraging part. You don't have to chop off your length to modernize your look. A long layered cut, or a modern shag with feathered edges instantly transforms heavy hair into something lighter and fresher. Layers remove bulk, create movement, and draw the eye upward. Even fine hair looks fuller when given shape and dimension. Color can also play a major role. Subtle highlights or lowlights add depth, making the hair appear healthier and more dynamic. And if you're embracing your natural silver, layering helps it catch the light beautifully. Add a soft fringe curtain bangs or wispy side bangs, and suddenly your long hair isn't weighing you down. It's framing you with softness and grace. I once met a woman named Clara who had worn her hair in a long, one-length style for nearly 30 years. She admitted she kept it that way because it felt safe. But one day, she decided to add layers and soft bangs. The transformation was incredible. Her friends kept telling her how radiant she looked. And Clara confessed that she finally felt like her hair matched the lively, youthful spirit she carried inside. She didn't lose her length, she gained a fresh perspective. From a psychological point of view, this change is powerful. Heavy one-length hair often gives off the message of holding on, while adding layers signals renewal and openness. You're not abandoning your femininity, you're updating it, embracing it, and showing that you're still modern and confident. So, if you've been holding on to long, heavy hair for years, ask yourself, is it still serving you? Or is it weighing you down? Sometimes, all it takes is a few well-placed layers to lift your whole look and your confidence without giving up the length you love. In the next part, we'll tackle a style you've probably seen many times. The so-called helmet bob. It's neat and tidy, but the stiffness of this cut can age you more than you realize. Let's look at why and explore softer, more modern alternatives. You've probably seen this style before, the perfectly set bob that doesn't move an inch, no matter how strong the wind blows. It's rounded, stiff, and heavily sprayed into place. Many people call it helmet hair, and while it may feel neat and polished, it's also one of the most unintentionally aging cuts out there. Why? Let's start with movement, or rather, the lack of it. Hair that's stiff and rigid sends a subconscious signal of being stuck, closed off, and less approachable. Movement in hair, on the other hand, communicates vitality, energy, and youthfulness. When your hair sways naturally as you turn your head, it feels alive. But when it sits in a stiff, immovable shape, it can make you appear older than you truly are. The second issue with helmet hair is that it often feels outdated. It was incredibly popular in past decades, especially when women relied on weekly salon visits for sets and sprays. But beauty evolves, and what once looked chic now risks making you look frozen in time. Even if your wardrobe and makeup are modern, pairing them with a rigid bob can pull the entire look backward. The third reason this cut doesn't serve you is its effect on facial features, because it hugs the head so tightly. It emphasizes angular lines and creates a boxy silhouette. Instead of softening fine lines or lifting the face, it can harden your appearance. What we want after 60 is softness and openness, not rigidity. Now, let's be fair, many women choose this style for practical reasons. It feels reliable, predictable, and easy. Once it's set, you don't have to worry about it all week. But here's the trade-off. Convenience comes at the cost of freshness, movement, and approachability. The alternative, a modern layered bob. By adding soft layers, you create texture and flow around the face. Instead of that stiff, rounded curve, the hair falls more naturally, with gentle movement that feels modern and flattering. Even small changes like switching from a center part to a soft side part, or tousling the layers with your fingers can breathe new life into the style. Color can also make a huge difference. A helmet bob is often paired with a solid block of color, which adds to the stiff effect. Breaking that up with subtle highlights or lowlights gives dimension and depth, instantly modernizing the cut. And perhaps most importantly, embrace imperfection. A little messiness in your hair isn't a flaw, it's a feature. Softness and movement communicate warmth and openness, which are timelessly youthful qualities. From a psychological perspective, Hair that's too rigid communicates rigidity in personality. It says, I'm closed, formal, and unchanging. But hair that moves and flows says, I'm open, engaged, and full of life. Which message would you rather send? So, if you've been loyal to a helmet bob for years, consider loosening it up. With just a few tweaks, adding layers, lightening the shape, softening the texture, you can keep the polish you love while gaining a look that feels modern, approachable, and refreshingly youthful. In the next part, we'll move from cuts to avoid into something even more exciting. How to choose the right haircut for you. Because the truth is, there's no universal answer. The best haircut depends on your face shape, hair texture, and lifestyle, and when you get those three factors right, the results are nothing short of transformative. By now, you've seen how certain cuts can lift your look and how others may unintentionally add years. But here's the most important question. How do you choose the haircut that's right for you? Because the truth is, there's no single answer that fits every woman. The perfect haircut depends on three key factors: your face shape, your hair texture, and your lifestyle. Let's start with face shape. If your face is round, you'll want styles that add height at the crown to elongate your features. A layered bob with a bit of lift is wonderful here. If your face is square or has an angular jawline, soft layers and side-swept bangs can balance out those edges beautifully. And if your face is longer or narrower, adding width and movement at the sides creates harmony. Think of your haircut as the frame to your portrait. The right frame enhances the artwork, never competes with it. Next is hair texture. Fine or thinning hair benefits from shorter cuts with layers that add body and fullness. A pixie with volume or a bob with layers can create the illusion of thickness. If your hair is thick, on the other hand, you'll want layers that remove bulk so your hair doesn't overwhelm your features. And if you have waves or curls, celebrate them. A talented stylist can shape your curls into bouncy, defined layers that feel alive and youthful. Then there's lifestyle, an often overlooked but crucial factor. Ask yourself, how much time do you want to spend styling your hair each day? If you love experimenting with looks, a layered shag gives you endless possibilities: curled, tousled, or sleek. But if you prefer simplicity, a layered bob or a pixie might be more your speed. Since both look polished with minimal effort, remember, the best haircut isn't just about how it looks in the salon. It's about how comfortably it fits into your everyday life. Here's a bonus tip. Bring photos to your stylist. Sometimes it's difficult to describe exactly what you want, but a picture speaks volumes. Don't feel shy about showing celebrity inspiration or cuts you've seen online. A good stylist will adjust the look to suit your face, your texture, and your preferences. This collaboration ensures you leave the chair with a cut that feels truly yours. And don't underestimate the power of regular trims. Even the most flattering haircut can lose its shape if left too long. Fresh ends and defined layers keep your style looking polished instead of tired. Depending on your cut, a visit every 6 to 8 weeks may be all you need to maintain that youthful, fresh look. At the end of the day, remember this: your haircut isn't about hiding your age. It's about embracing it with style. The right cut should highlight your best features, complement your lifestyle, and most importantly, make you feel radiant. When you sit in that salon chair, I think less about what you want to hide and more about what you want to highlight. That shift in perspective can transform not only your hair, but also your confidence. In the next part, we'll go even deeper. We'll explore the psychology behind why a youthful haircut has such a powerful effect, not just on how you look, but on how you feel inside. And you may be surprised at how something as simple as a cut can change your energy, your interactions, and even your outlook on life. When we talk about hair, It's easy to focus on the external changes, the lift around the cheekbones, the softness around the eyes, the way a good cut frames the face. But what's even more powerful is what happens inside when you update your hairstyle. A flattering cut doesn't just change the reflection you see in the mirror, it changes the way you feel about yourself and, in turn, how you move through the world. Psychologists often talk about the concept of enclothed cognition, the idea that what we wear affects how we think, feel, and behave. Hair works the same way. When your haircut feels fresh and flattering, you naturally carry yourself differently. You stand taller, you smile more, and you engage with others more openly. People respond to that energy, which creates a ripple effect of positivity. Think of the times you've left a salon feeling fabulous. Didn't you find yourself saying yes to plans, making more eye contact, even feeling a little lighter on your feet? That's because the way we perceive ourselves influences our confidence in every interaction. A great haircut isn't vanity, it's a form of self-expression that reinforces your sense of vitality. And here's another layer. Hair is deeply tied to identity. Many women share stories about feeling invisible after 60, as if the world stops noticing them. But when you choose a haircut that feels aligned with your personality, whether it's playful, elegant, bold, or soft, you step back into visibility. You remind yourself and others that you're still vibrant, stylish, and full of life. Take Jane Fonda as an example. In her 70 seconds and 80 seconds, she didn't shy away from changing her hair, from layered shags to shorter chic styles. Each look projected confidence and energy. She didn't try to look like her younger self, she reinvented her style to reflect who she was now. And that's the key. A youthful cut doesn't erase your age, it celebrates it. While signaling that you're still evolving, there's also a practical psychological boost. When your hair is easy to style and suits your lifestyle, it reduce stress. You don't start the day feeling frustrated in front of the mirror. Instead, you begin with confidence, which sets a positive tone for the rest of your day. I once spoke with a woman named Margaret, who said that updating her cut to a layered bob completely changed her social life. She started going to more events, joined a walking group, and even began volunteering. I just feel more like myself again, she said. That renewed energy came from something as simple as changing her haircut, but the ripple effects touched every part of her life. So the next time you sit in your stylist's chair, remember, you're not just asking for a new cut. You're choosing how you want to feel, how you want to be seen, and the message you want to send to the world. A youthful haircut isn't about pretending to be younger. It's about aligning your outer reflection with the vibrant, wise, and confident woman you already are. In the final part, we'll bring everything together. We'll recap the flattering cuts, the ones to avoid, and the deeper truth behind embracing your age with style. And, of course, I'll leave you with a little encouragement and a reminder that your next haircut might just be the spark that reignites your confidence. We've traveled quite a journey together through the cuts that flatter, the ones that don't serve us anymore, and the deeper reasons why hair matters so much after 60. And if there's one message I hope you carry with you, it's this. Your haircut isn't about chasing youth. It's about celebrating who you are today with style, with confidence, and with joy. We've seen how the right haircut can completely refresh your look. The soft, layered bob adds lift, movement, and elegance. The Pixie with volume is bold, liberating, and endlessly chic. And the long layered shag offers flow, bounce, and a carefree energy. Each one of these cuts works not because it erases age, but because it highlights your natural beauty and aligns with your vibrant spirit. On the other side, we explored the styles that might unintentionally age you: the overly short harsh crop, the heavy one-length hair, and the rigid helmet bob. None of these are wrong, but they can drag the face downward, signal outdatedness, or strip away the softness that makes us appear approachable and full of life. The good news is that even if you've been wearing one of these styles for years, small tweaks, layers, softness, movement can completely transform them into cuts that serve you better. But beyond the technical details, let's come back to the heart of it all. How your haircut makes you feel. A fresh, flattering style is more than just a look, it's a statement. It tells the world, I'm still here. I'm still vibrant. And I'm not fading into the background. It's self-care. Yes, but also self-expression. Aging isn't about becoming invisible. It's about stepping into a new chapter with grace and a little boldness. Think of your haircut as your spark, a small change with the power to reignite your confidence, your energy, and even the way others connect with you. So the next time you sit in that salon chair, don't focus on hiding. Focus on highlighting. Ask yourself, what do I want people to notice about me? My eyes, my smile, my energy. Then choose a cut that frames those qualities. That simple shift in perspective can transform your entire outlook. And remember, you don't have to do this alone. Bring photos, ask questions, and collaborate with your stylist. The right haircut isn't about following rules. It's about finding the style that makes you feel most like you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this video has inspired you, don't forget to subscribe for more tips. Share it with a friend who might need a little confidence boost. And let me know in the comments, which haircut are you excited to try next? Because at the end of the day, age is just a number. Style, confidence, and radiance, those are timeless.